Welcome to Talks Over Linford. My name is TK, for those of you who don't know. And on on this episode, the second episode, guys, I have the privilege of hosting two amazing and incredible human beings. I've got Maneo and I've got Donny. Because, you know, in that one more. So, guys, welcome to Talks Over Linford. I hope you guys are relaxed. I hope you guys are chilled. I don't know about life, but predominantly in the entrepreneurship and mentorship space, you know. Sure. So for me, I was watching a webinar. I joined the webinar last week, and I actually did not know that there's a coach for everything. So I consider myself a financial coach. I didn't know I know there's a life coach. I know you are a business coach. But I also did not know that there's a sales coach, an emotional coach, a spiritual coach. I'm like, hold on, guys. There's a coach for every single thing, you know. And let's start there. How do you the importance of having a coach? Do you have a coach? Why is a coach important in your view?
Well, I think a coach, like you rightly said, it applies in many aspects of life. And because the job of a coach is to help you realize your full potential. So we need coaches in different aspects. You need your spiritual coach to help you with your spiritual matters if you're a spiritual person like myself. You need a coach. You need a business coach if you're in business to help you unpack issues in your business, to unpack issues that will affect the bottom line of your business, which is your profitability. You need coach when in your finances, in your personal finance. You need a coach everywhere. So it's really important because remember, it helps a coach job is to help you realize your full potential. So
would you say when you were starting out, you know, you've been in business for over 10 years now, if I'm not mistaken?
7
Just 7 years. Well,
yes.
Round out to the nearest. So you've been in, is this some of the things you've known when you started out, or when did you realize the importance of having a coach?
I realized it in my second year of hustling when I had a mentor. Slash coach.
What is the difference? Sorry to interject. What is the difference between mentor, coach? Hannah, what's the other one? Mentor, coach, an advisor, and a counselor. Yeah. But what's the difference between a mentor and a coach, would you say?
So usually a mentor will be someone who is older, who has run the race, who is an expert in the matter, who basically shows you how to do it.
Okay.
Now a coach, it helps you to, it guides you in the process, but don't necessarily tell you how to do it, but help you to sort of reach there. They're not necessarily an expert or someone who's older and someone who has run a race. It's really a thin line between the two. And usually a mentor can be anyone. A mentor can be your parent, a friend, and it's usually a little bit more informal. And you as the mentee, you have to make sure that you go to the mentor. You have to make sure that you're the one who is proactive in the process, because they're there when you come. But then a coach makes sure that, like, it's in their mind, they set goals, they sort of, push you. They're a little bit more aggressive, unlike mentors who are a little bit more subtle. So yeah, it's a bit of a thin line.
Over to you, Donny. I mean, you've been in business as well. You've had your highs, your lows, everything else. I always say everything else in between. So what are some of the things you wish you knew when starting out?
Well, firstly, regarding my first business, which is Donny's Fresh and Dried Food, it had a lot of challenges, which were caused by me not having proper guidance when I started out and during the journey. I only got assistance late or mid 2019. It was in my third year in it was my third year in business. And that's when I realized that there was nothing happening within the business. It wasn't a proper business. And like it wasn't a business.
Yo.
We were just selling a face. Well, I came to accept that the hard way. That I wasn't running a proper business. It didn't have proper financial records, although in the public eye, it seemed to be performing very well.
Social media,
newspapers, radio, all those. So I didn't realize the importance of having someone to hold your hand and go with you along the way. It's only when I joined DK's businessman training program that I realized that I need someone who can help me in business. And then I contacted someone. He's an old businessman, a local businessman. Told him my challenges. He was a client at the office I used to work for at the law firm. So he really helped me see a different side of business. And I believe the same way our parents helped us to walk when we were still toddlers or very young age, it's still the same way that we need to have someone that will help us walk the journey of business. And that's the importance of mentorship. That's the importance of coaching, as Maneo has just described it. And I'm really glad that I got to understand the distinction between coaching, mentorship, and
advisory. Counselor.
Yeah.
But before you continue,
Sure.
you said something that was really, I think, very, very important in this regard, Laurie. You realized that you were not running a business. It looked like you were running a business, and in actual fact, you were not. How easy was it for you to get to that point to say that I'm actually not running a business? You know, because I ask because as young people, we are very proud. We are very full of ourselves. We are very optimistic, dare I say, you know. How easy was it for you? Because I think it had to take a lot for you to be vulnerable to say that
It wasn't easy.
I'm not running a business here.
It took me a period of about 4 months before I decided or concluded that I'm shutting down or pausing on the process of Donny's Fruits. So besides DK, my wife played a huge role in trying to make me understand the reality side of my business rather than the brand that I was trying to push, because all I was worried about is the brand. What's going to happen? I've managed to build something that people know about, but inside there's no growth. So she told me, hello Pela, Facebook. Stop listening to the noise.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what people will say. Rather focus on you and us. And because it was causing us a lot of problems in my family.
Oh wow, okay.
And that was all because I didn't have someone to help me along the way. So the coincidence of Fela August 2019 that okay, I'm leaving. It's all goodbyes, Donny's Fruits. It's been awesome. Let me take a break. And I got to understand how important it is to live the truth and speak the truth out there. Entrepreneurship is not a walk in the park. We struggle a lot, but we don't want to talk about it.
We don't want to talk about it. And I think I remember reading the post on social media, and I could almost feel the emotions. I could almost feel, I won't say the failure, but I could feel that you felt like you had failed yourself and you had failed the brand, And I think, Maneo, to your point, Yori, we start things and we keep on going. You are in business coaching now. You've also started businesses, and now you have a foundation, and you have Startsmart, and you have Maneo's communication. What is happening with Maneo communication, and how did you transition from one to the other? And what are the lessons that
Interesting. I wasn't expecting a question about Maneo communication.
I also did not expect the question.
I don't even know about
Give me that drama. Don't even know about it.
And funny enough, it puts the most bread on the table.
Really?
But we don't know. Wow. So Maneo communications was sort of my first baby. My first degree was in marketing.
Yeah.
And, after school, I thought, okay, I need to do a marketing related business. I just knew I wanted to go in business, do marketing, but I didn't know what. But anyway, what it ended up being was printing and branding company for corporates, but mainly not doing any production in-house, more of a middleman. More of a supply of branding related materials. The business is still there. We still have our old clients who are always very happy to be with us. So now it's more like a cash cow, you know. It's like a side hustle in a way. Honestly, I'm not putting any effort in it. I'm not giving it attention because there isn't any production done in house. Just working with old clients, which are now few. It's really a little bit more manageable, so to speak. But then, so Maneo Communications started in 2012, and then in 2014, I realized that my passion was in working with small businesses. And then I started capacitating myself, going to workshops and trainings about small business development, doing lots of capacity building on myself until now. Until when 2017, then I registered Startsmart, trying with the aim of working with entrepreneurs through coaching and trainings. But then you realize that people that want to start don't necessarily have the money, okay? They can't afford to pay for themselves, and no donor also wants to give a profit-making company money to help entrepreneurs, which now led to the registration of the foundation in 2019. So now with the foundation, we're able to do the work for entrepreneurs, and they come and benefit for free, while also someone is helping us to at least stay afloat and be able to
pay the bills.
Yes.
To pay the bill. And I think you mentioned self-development. You identify what you want to do, and you actually went out and you invested in your development. And I think I remember that Donny was somewhere abroad last year before the COVID pandemic, studying, and there's a course that you did, if I remember correctly. And then you came back, and then from Donny's Fruits to the new business that I'll also allow you to talk to you about the development, the professional development from an entrepreneur perspective. Is that important? And if it is, how do we go about it? Especially because there's a money aspect involved in it.
Well, I believe in learning. I believe in continuous learning. So, but education at this level, it's not easily accessible. Like you already mentioned, the money aspect involved. However, the internet has made it much easier for us to learn. Hence, I tried to learn a lot of things myself. After going for that course in China, we took I think a month there, but I learned a lot from the course that we are doing, and coming back home and learning other things helped me establish this new business. But I think learning is important for us as entrepreneurs. It helps us grow, and
It's annoying. Yeah.
No, not saying.
I don't like it.
You want to have shots, actually.
shots. So I feel like Mr. Donny was a bit, about to tap into a very deep story about his development in China
Sure.
and coming back.
Well, I was
Just to ease the tension. Have one.
Sure.
Woo! Head. No.
Okay. I need to breathe.
No, she doesn't drink. She's just like, no, honey, vodka. So she can't be mixing.
I can take it. I just have problem with ulcers. So.
Yes. So failure and pivoting. I think the word I'm looking for is pivoting. You come back from China, you are learning, Yeah, let's take it from there.
Well, into China. The use of technology. Hence, I decided to start Illegal Solutions, which is a law firm, but it advocates for inclusion through the use of technological tools. All I wanted to do was to rethink access to legal services by offering a different type of maybe mechanism. So I learned, I tried to understand technology more. So since November, I did Illegal Solutions. Well, I didn't want I wanted to understand whether I'm the best, not the best, but whether I'm good at being an entrepreneur or businessman. Based on Donny's test
Who was the problem?
no. Donny's maybe lack, for lack of a better word, or maybe the brand grew that much. So that's why I wanted to start another business. So with the lessons I learned from Donny's and what I wanted to do, give money guidance, because I'm trying to gather as much as I can. Professionally, I am into a mentorship program on a general Inspire for give money mentorship as a lawyer, and also being a businessman, I have someone also who's mentoring me.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I'm trying to learn from other people like UTK, but educating ourselves as entrepreneurs, I think we still have a long way to go. We are not well aware of or knowledgeable of. So we need people who will educate us. That's why I like what TKO Consultants is doing, trying to teach us as entrepreneurs and other people or the general public about the challenge. And that's what influenced me also to do the Mola workshops, whereby I try to educate small businesses about the importance of the law in their businesses. And there are many other aspects in our businesses we need people to educate us on. High barrier through formal education is expensive, but we have experts who can be able to share their knowledge with us. But it's a lot of approach ba hlokomela hore there's a need ya hore batho ba ithute ka dikgwebo tsa bona kapa generally ditaba tse ba amang. So ke nahana hore ho bohlokwa haholo teng ho ithuta ka nnete as businessmen le hore re tla re kgone ho hola. Yeah.
I think before you jump in, he said something very, very profound. Ailing personally from a TK Ntebe versus TKO consultancy perspective is very important. Sometimes TKO consultancy success is because of TK Kapotubiso Ntebe, the brand, you know. So as a consultant, when I'm Maneo and Startsmart, how do you differentiate that? You know, maybe you can get into your question. You go now what you wanted to say up or what you wanted to add on, and then come back to that particular question or not. How do you differentiate the two brands? Do you leverage off one over the other as a consultant? Now, how do you go about it? Because I'm imagining Donny's Fruits was purely successful on social media because of people knowing Donny, but was it actually a business, you know? So maybe that's something you can tackle.
Okay, so I'll come to the question I wanted to ask him later. Honestly, I think that is one area I myself need coaching on differentiating.
I think I needed to.
Myself from the brand in my business, you know.
But is it really a bad thing though? Because I feel like to some extent it's okay, but is it really a bad thing? Because especially our business in TKO consultancy is actually surviving because of TKO. But at some point, I like what illegal is doing, because at some point you need to build a team. Even you take a step back, but is it?
I don't think it's a bad thing. It actually helps you in the early stages of business. I think one thing we're talking about careful kind of business that has come away now the moment, you know, in the process, how get the whole build up brand by business through you now start implementing systems, building systems in your process, in a business, building processes, you know, bringing people in where applicable, you know, just so that this is a business. It's not you.
No, it's not sole proprietor.
Yeah, but I think that's how we usually start. Really.
Okay.
And also when I get how also engage in a lot of thought leadership, something you're doing a lot. Because the articles you're sharing, the information, the expertise you're sharing on financial education is what we call thought leadership again. So that process, it helps you to build brand by TKO, because you go to TKO because Mangate knows a whole lot about finances, you know. So it's in a way they build on each other, they help each other. I was just really intrigued about illegal solutions, you know. Okay, I'm thinking we're living in the digital world. I myself am so BET.
Before technology.
I know, but unfortunately we're living in a technology world now. I mean, we're living in a digital world, and then there is the fourth industrial revolution, and then there is now legal consulting electronically on digital. Like I don't know. I thought that is something interesting. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts about now. Like, when this is perfect, what does it look like? This
is there ever perfection though?
No, as in when it's at that space where you're saying
this is
what it should look like, and are you thinking of scaling it globally? Because once it's digital, you can, you know.
The legal practice is stagnant. As lawyers have we don't want to move and progress, and maybe re kgone ho hlokomela hore nako di fetohile ntse re sebetsa di-law firm ka tsela e our forefathers sa lentse ba sebetsa ka tsona. Our laws tse leng hore di governor rona re le legal practitioners.
1992, I was reading a labor code. 1992.
Yeah, we have the Legal Practitioners Act, 1980, but it governs 2020 lawyers. So I wanted to take an opportunity and maybe make other lawyers aware how times have changed. We don't have the Legal Practitioners Act doesn't stop me from maybe advertising on Facebook.
Very true.
It doesn't govern a web-based or tech-based law firm or virtual law firm. But we have to take opportunity or a chance. So illegal solutions can be on that. We look at high trophy like you who provide legal solutions. It's electronic. So high feel it's illegal. It's like the law is it's a maybe it's an the business it's the general public. In Pantry, I don't like how since I can now hold automation. Of Maneo your documents online. We can your employment contract through the questions they and the whole guide I got of man I print out of the contract. Like us gives convenience more than anything.
I think that's really amazing.
Convenience is very
yeah.
I think it's a few, and I think for me, however, convenience, COVID-19, particularly during the lockdown, was a better reminder. Just like at the state as okay, can't we legislate electronic signatures? Because now we can't. I'm stuck at home and I need to send a document to you, you know. But until it's law, but because time is money and I'm the money guy, guys, we are almost out of time. So for me, I want to know two things. Well, one thing from each of you, from the both of you, rather. So beyond the businesses, beyond everything that you've been through, from Maneo to Maneo Adversity to Maneo now, from Donny Adversity to rebranding, or from Tapelo to rebranding to Donny, and I know your brand
so
manager.
Tapelo is the first name.
People don't know that, but the brand, Donny's the brand, you know. Just
now
like
I know.
people don't know my name is TK, so TK, you know, the brand, you know. What would you say? What would you tell? Okay, one of two things, and I think we have less than 3 minutes left, you know, so you have to keep it short and simple and enjoy your drink while doing that. What would you say to your younger self, and what are you most looking forward to beyond 2020, which has been a crappy year for some people, but comes with a lot of opportunities beyond, you know? Let's start at Donny and then end with you. Okay. What would you say to your younger self, and then what does the future look like for you? It can be a quote, it could be a paragraph, well, not a paragraph, a sentence, it could be whatever, you know, but well, past and
to my younger self, Tapelo or Donny, don't be distracted by the noise. Scamamela or focus on what you are doing, build something and moving forward, my future self maybe build a business, stop building a brand.
Stop building a brand.
Yeah.
Your brand manager. Your brand manager was not particularly like that.
The brand is important.
The brand is important.
But don't focus
on the brand. Don't focus. Yeah. I feel like don't focus too much on social media. Yeah. Build the brand, but not the social media brand. Yeah. Build the brand.
We spend a lot of time trying to build brands, but
the business is suffering. And what would you say now that you're a dad? I feel like, you know, and if your latest post is anything to go by, I'm like, wow, what has that experience been like, and what's the one lesson you've learned that you'd want to change for the future generation?
Well, in terms of being a father, it gave me perspective, it gave me purpose, a reason for living. So why are you doing it? However, the why part, then you are able to progress.
Yeah. Find your why, guys. Find your why. Now to you.
Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek. But I feel like, is it Simon Sinek? Because I heard Larato Mpaka say it very differently. I was just like, hold on, what?
Oh my god.
And when she comes to Heitler Hostlang, like English, it's just like, whoa. So she's like, Simon, what? Yeah. So in less than wrapping up, and then, in 30 seconds, what would you say to Maneo?
My younger self.
Your younger
You've
self.
always known, and you were right. That's what I'll say to my.
You've always known and you're right.
Yes.
Profound. No, what would you say to Maneo going into the future?
It only gets better.
It only gets
Like,
better.
yeah.
Wow, guys, I don't know about you. So what I would say to younger TK is forgive yourself, be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
And what I would say to my future self is, I think it's Sandra Shirley.
Ooh,
Wow, Facebook.
okay.
Done is better than perfect. Guys,
Oh my god.
done is better than perfect.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when people ask me why I keep on doing, I'm like, I'm doing and I'm learning and I'm perfecting as I go along.
Yeah.
But I'm doing because we get so obsessed with perfection that we never get anything done.
And we get.
It's
caught in-
been amazing. It's been great to have you guys here. This is episode 2 of Talks over Linford. I am looking forward to the 3rd episode. I have no idea who will be on the seat. But thank you guys.
Drinking some
Thank you
nice
for hosting us.
Linford.
Drinking some. Wow, that's not Linford. That is some
Just
nice
saying.
wine. Thank you guys.
I can
Enjoy.
have a big
Thank
Cadella.
you.
But they could tell, yes, that's why we're here. Signed, sealed, Team Linford, we love you. Thank you for everything else. Have yourself a great afternoon. Cheers.
Cheers.